So I just got done watching The Bear Season 3. All 10 episodes are available for you guys to stream on Hulu or Disney+, whichever one floats your boat. Christopher Storer's series is really starting to make a name for itself as one of the better shows that's out there right now. Jeremy Allen White, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Edebiri, all of them are back, as our leads do what it takes to elevate The Bear as a restaurant to the highest level, all while doing their best just to stay in business. And we see that it's a losing battle every single day in the restaurant business. Carmy, played by Jeremy Allen White, excellently might I add. He is in talks for another Emmy, in my opinion, with this performance. Because we see with his anxiety, he is pushing himself harder than ever. And he demands excellence from his crew, who do their best to match his intensity, but it also leads to some friction in amongst the kitchen. Our chefs are learning that every second counts, but this season, they find out if they have what it takes to make it to tomorrow. And let me start by saying this. I've loved The Bear so far, and this season is no different. There's a lot of greatness to be had here. The Bear, to me, is like one of my favorite dishes that I come home to. My mom, best cook that I'll ever know. But when she makes a meal the way that she does, I expect it to be made a certain way. And it's always the best and so fantastic every single time I take it. Season 3 of The Bear is almost what would happen if she either A, changed the process in making this dish, or B, if she spiced it up differently. And then I'd eat it and I notice, hey mom, something's different. What'd you do here? And you can certainly notice a more unique flavor to Season 3 as opposed to its two predecessors. You absolutely notice a lot more montages in here, a lot more non-linear storytelling, loads more flashbacks as well, my word. It's almost like they heard my praise for the amazing flashback episode from Season 2, which was filled with cameos, and then they decided to replicate it for a few episodes this season. And while I definitely appreciate the risks that are being taken here, it almost plays to The Bear Season 3's detriment. Because once you're done watching all 10 episodes of this season, you'll notice that first of all, it ends on a cliffhanger. But when you think back to the season as a whole, not really a whole lot of forward progression in the main story. You certainly get a lot of character development here, especially as it goes with Carmy. Once again, Jeremy Allen White is phenomenal, one of the best young actors working right now, and I'd be floored if this man was not nominated for another Emmy next year for this performance. The premiere of Season 3 is just absolute television dynamite. It is one of the best 20 to 30 minute some odd montages I think I've ever seen in my life. Because it perfectly encapsulates what the character of Carmy is going through. And then again, it's also a reflection of how his behavior is going to eventually rub off on his counterparts. Showrunner Christopher Storer just has his finger on the pulse here. I also love Edebiri in this. It was great to see her back in action here. She's having herself a great year after voicing Envy in Inside Out 2. Because not only does her character of Sydney get a lot of forward progression here, there's a very important decision that she has to make. But this woman also gets to show off her directing chops. She actually directs episode 6, which in my opinion, may be one of the season's best. It's another one of those fancy flashback episodes. It shows you how the character of Tina goes through unemployment, all to end up at what was the beef. And there's a wonderful conversation that Tina has with Mikey, played again by Jon Bernthal. And that whole 15 to 20 minute conversation just shows you how brilliant the writing of this show is. Not because it's trying to be too flashy or anything like that. They're just writing people. They're just writing how people talk. And I'll tell you what, that episode with Tina is going to relate to a lot of people. And I think actress Liza Colon-Zayas does a wonderful job throughout the entirety of the series so far. That episode was her big chance to shine, and she delivered. And yes, I do appreciate that a good chunk of our characters get more development as it is. Lionel Boyce as Marcus gets a lot more to do here. There's an episode centered around Abby Elliott as Natalie giving birth, which is actually a pretty nice balance of comedy and heartfelt moments, especially as it goes with Jamie Lee Curtis's guest starring turn. She is brilliant in that episode as well. Yeah, the guest stars they get for Season 3 are interesting, to say the least. You get Oliver Platt in a few episodes. He's really good. Haven't seen him in a long time. And of course, the man who just announced his retirement from WWE, John Cena, appears in one episode. He's really funny. He's got a very vulgar sense of humor. Like, there certainly is a lot to enjoy about Season 3. I didn't dislike this whatsoever. My only thing is, I definitely feel like it's the inferior season of the 3 we get so far. It's not necessarily because it feels like a part 1 to what Season 4 is going to wind up being. But I feel like because of the amount of risks that they took, the showrunners couldn't really progress the story as forward as they wanted to. And I'll also admit, I don't know if it's because the Fantastic Four shooting is taking up a lot of this man's schedule, but Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Richie definitely takes a back seat here. Like, he still gets some stuff to do. He still gets some great scenes here and there. But Richie is one of the main three here, along with Carmy and with Sydney. And he definitely feels like a supporting player here. And I don't know, call me crazy, man. I wanted a little bit more of him. But all that in mind, I do understand why there's a lot of hardcore fans of the Bear who would be absolutely frustrated with this season because they're like, where's the progression here? I'm of the mind that since this is a TV show, I don't mind having to wait a year to see a resolution for a lot of these stories. If this were 30 years ago and we'd have to wait for another season of this, I would absolutely be livid. But no, I'm fine sitting here. I don't need all the answers to everything right away. I don't need to see what the review actually said of the Bear. I don't need to see that just yet. Having a season that is filled to the brim with a lot more juicy character development and a lot more different ingredients than you're used to, it may not feel like the dish that you've been served over the past couple of seasons, but it's still the Bear. And it's still comfortably one of the better shows I've had the pleasure of sitting through so far, and I can't wait to see what's next. If you haven't started binging The Bear, what the heck are you guys waiting for? I'm going to give Season 3 an A-. Definitely a very unique feeling season, especially in terms of how it looks and how it feels. But at the crux of it all, the characters are what make this show what it is. Let me know what you think of The Bear down in the comments section. Let me know who your favorite character is, what your favorite episode is. Lots that we can discuss and then some on this channel. If you've stumbled upon this stupid face for the first time, do consider subscribing, tap on that thumbs up as well. We are on here discussing all great things in the cinematic world, in the entertainment world, the television world. We've got a lot of fun topics coming down the pipeline as I am recovering from COVID here. I'm going to be back at the movie theater later this week. Thank you again to everybody who reached out. I'm feeling so much better today. And I can't wait to check out Twisters later this week, as well as Deadpool and Wolverine the weekend after that, my most anticipated movie of the freaking year. And I'm going to wrap up my Deadpool and Wolverine playlist very soon. Check out my review for Deadpool 2. That's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Stay tuned. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.